All right, now we're going to learn about multiplying by 11. Now, this one can be quite easy as well because there's patterns to it. So I'm going to show you sort of two different patterns with two different types of questions. So first of all, I'm going to show you some examples, and then we're going to look at what the pattern is. So these are 11 multiplied by single digit numbers, okay? So 6 times 11 is 66 and 11 times 4 is 44. So hopefully you see the pattern is you just double that number, 6, 6, and this one, 4, 4, right? It's like it's multiplying the 6 times 1 is 6 and 6 times the other one is 6. 4 times 1 is 4, 4 times the other one is 4. And you just got the different places, the ones and tens place, right? Gives it 66 and 44. All right, so if we were looking at these questions, all right, so I'm going to give you time to answer. So 8 times 11 would be, hopefully you said 88. And 3 times 11 would be 33. Okay, there's no tricks to this. So this works for all the numbers going up to 9. Obviously, when you multiply by 0, though, the answer will always be 0. Now, so that's kind of the first step of multiplying by 11. Now we can get a little fancier, okay? And definitely not an expectation of grade 3. Even the 11 times isn't, but they're quite easy and quite fun to do. So this next one is multiplying two-digit numbers by 11. So I'm going to show you an example. So let me, so 14 times 11, okay? So not a grade 3 question, but I'm going to show you how easy it can be. And I just want to do a reminder over here about the ones, tens, and hundreds places, because this will come in there. So whenever I do questions like this, I always draw 3 lines to represent my ones, tens, and hundreds places. And it's good to do for these types of questions, and I'll show you why. So there's a pattern to this as well. It's a few more steps. So we look at the 4. Now the 4 is on the right-hand side of 14. So we're going to put the 4 on the right-hand side of our answer. The 1 is on the left-hand side of 14, so we're going to put it on the left-hand side of our answer. Now, for in the middle here, what we do is we take the 14 and we add those 2 digits. So we go 1 plus 4, okay? And then that goes into the middle. 1 plus 4 is 5, and there we go. There is our answer of 154. All right, so some people call it a trick. I call it a strategy. And I've actually had students before where they're able to do this in their head. So that's something that some of you may work up to, is what we call mental math, and doing that in your head rather than writing it out. But obviously it takes practice, like everything else. So I'm going to show you some other examples. Let's go 23 times 11. And the pattern never changes. Well, I'll show you a time when it does, but that's sort of a step further as well. So I do my 1, 2, 3 for my ones, tens, and hundreds. Okay, so 3 is on the right. I put the 3 on the right. 2 is on the left. 2 is on the left. Add the 2 of them together. 2 plus 3 is 5. Goes in the middle. Done. All right. A few more examples here. Now, unfortunately, this only works for 11 times tables. And I only learned this about 10 years ago. And when I learned about it, I was like, wow, this is an amazing strategy that I need to share with all my students. So 5 is on the right. Put it on the right. 3 is on the left. Put it on the left. 3 plus 5 is 8. Goes in the middle. Okay. So these questions work nicely right now because when you add them up, it's not bigger than 9. And I'll show you some examples where that does complicate things a little, but I'll do it after this last one here. So 2 is on the right, we put it on the right. 7's on the left, put it on the left. 7 plus 2 is 9. There you go. 72 times 11 is 792. All right. So now this is where we get to when we add the middle and it is bigger than 9. So here's an example, 56 times 11. So still same thing. 6, 5. Now this is where the problem happens. 6 plus 5 is 11. We can't put 11 in there. So if you remember back to your regrouping, okay, I have to take 10 out and give it to the hundreds, okay, because 10 tens is 100. So I'm going to take 10 out, which will leave me with 1, and I give 1 to the hundreds, so 5 plus 1 is 6, and then the ones place doesn't matter, it stays the same, okay? So we go from 5 hundreds, 11 tens, and 6 ones to 616, and that's the answer for questions like that. All right, so you could do this for fun, try it out. It's a great way to impress family members. A lot of people, they've never seen this before, so have the family try it out.